So Bernie Sanders put out a Bernie Sanders who did absolutely nothing, extracted absolutely nothing from Joe Biden or the Democratic Party for his endorsement or for the drop out of the race, and he threw his movement under the bus, and has been doing absolutely nothing for you since voting for the largest upward transfer of wealth in the history of the human race. Bernie Sanders voted for that 96-0 while getting you zero. I know a lot of people thought that Bernie Sanders got that unemployment provision into that CARES Act. He did not. He gave a speech that was complete theater. And this is the only show that will report it that way. And so we're used to being alone on stuff like this. To tell you the truth, the hard truths, we're doing it. So Bernie Sanders says this yesterday. He did an interview, and here's what he has to say. Here's a go.
Some of my friends in the Democratic establishment are not aware, or I think cannot comprehend what some of us have in mind in terms of what will happen after Biden is elected, hopefully after he's elected.
So I just wanted to stop it there because Bernie starts off with my friends in the Democratic Party. Bernie, friends don't throw you under the bus and mock you at every opportunity while you're out campaigning for them. That's not something that a friend does. Okay. But campaigning for a guy who does that makes you a cuck.
And that is, we are not going back to business as usual. There's too much pain out there. There's too much inequality out there. There is too much injustice out there. And here is what I believe from the bottom of my heart. If the Democrats, with the Democratic president, Democratic House, and Democratic Senate, cannot begin to address the real crises facing this country, then the future of this nation will be very, very dismal indeed.
So what Bernie is saying is that the people he's been saying are horrible for 40 years. The fate of the country hangs on those people. That's what he's been saying. That the fate of the country hangs on the Democratic Party. What he's saying is we're screwed. You really think the Democratic Party is going to help you? And by the way, if Bernie considers the Democratic establishment his friends, I'm terrified to see what his enemies look like. Mm-hmm.
The people are giving us an opportunity now. And if we blow it by not being bold and aggressive, the next...
You know, like I was in the campaign, how I was not bold and how I was not aggressive and how I was a patsy, a spineless, nutless wonder who rolled over at the... Even russiagated my own self. Even russiagated himself. He red-baited himself. You mean like that kind of boldness? You bullshitter? You sheepdog for the Democratic Party? You bullshitter. This is all talk. The time for him to do something came and passed. And now he has absolutely no power. None. Zero leverage. Bernie gives a speech, 6 people show up. Bernie does a live stream, I do a live stream, we're getting 10 times the viewers. No one gives a shit what he has to say.
Address the real crises facing this country, then the future of this nation will be very, very dismal indeed. The people are giving us an opportunity now, and if we blow it by not being bold and aggressive,
like we've always done, like I've always done, like I just showed you that I'm going to do, you know, that thing that we always, if we do the thing we've always done and keep doing, and the thing that I'm going to do.
The next Trump who comes along will be even worse than this one.
So,
some of my friends in the...
So, if we keep going along with the status quo of Joe Biden and the way the Democrats have been going along, that the next Trump is going to be even worse than this Trump, where have I heard that before? Where have I heard that before? Next thing you know, Bernie's going to start saying failed state. And he might even get Syria or Venezuela right. Looks like Bernie's speechwriter is watching the show, which is nice to see. We're going to get a worse Trump, huh, Bernie? Isn't that something? After I just did everything to make sure the guy who gave us Trump gets elected so we could get an even worse Trump, I'm going to now warn you about the thing I just did. This is from Politico. Senator Bernie Sanders is hoping to be part of Joe Biden's potential administration and has expressed a particular interest in becoming labor secretary.
Is Bernie a Republican?
But I know, Bernie, you're not a Republican. You're not going to get in Joe Biden's cabinet. He's got an interest in becoming labor secretary. But I bet he'll accept just being told to fuck off for the billionth time. Will he? Will he? The guy who campaigned harder than the actual candidate hopes to get some kind of acknowledgement.
So we're really going to be able to tell if he's Joe Biden's real good friend at this point?
Right? Here's what Kyle Kalinske said. Bernie Sanders is hoping to be part of Biden's potential administration and has expressed a particular interest in becoming labor secretary. Hoping, he puts in all caps. You know, you could have demanded it for your endorsement before you dropped out. How is it that a freaking YouTuber knows this? How is it that a pothead comedian in his garage knows this? But Bernie doesn't know it? Bernie knows that. He's just a nutless wonder. He's there. He's not there to stand up for you inside the Democratic Party. He's there to sheepdog you into it and tell you to vote for the problem. Because he doesn't want to end up like Ralph Nader, because he turns out doesn't have as much guts as we wanted him to. He doesn't have those guts. Doesn't have it. Doesn't have it. Being a nice guy doesn't make you a leader. By the way, that's not him being nice. That's him being nefarious and evil by sheepdogging you into the party and then turning his back on his movement and getting nothing for it. That's not him being a nice guy. And Kyle is correct 100% here. And by the way, that's not Bernie Sanders not knowing this. He knows this. God damn. I'm sure Bernie's got nothing to worry about. I mean, Democrats always look out for him, don't they? Like when he did nearly 40 events for Hillary Clinton and then she went on Hulu talking about how nobody likes Bernie. Hey, Bernie, just so you know, they hate you unless they want your email list. Mm-hmm. They hate you unless they want votes from your supporters or an endorsement or a unity tour or a campaign event. Then they remember you, and then they go back to hating you immediately. Why would they give it to you? This is great, Kyle Kalinske. Why would they give you the labor secretary position? Why would they give that to you? They don't like you personally. They don't like your ideology, and you're already campaigning for Biden more than he is for himself. Why on earth would they do it? He's so naive, it's unbelievable. They hate you. Kyle, he's not naive. Everything Kyle said there is correct, except Bernie's not naive. Bernie's doing this on purpose. He's not dumber than you. He's not dumber than me. His whole life is politics for the last 50 years. He's not missing this. It's that he's not making a miscalculation. He's making a calculation, but it's not a miscalculation. He knows exactly what he's doing. God damn it. Here's Bernie Sanders campaign for Biden. Here's Bernie Sanders campaigning for Biden. Being a team player, even though the DNC and the DNC are the players. The DNC will always hate him. Let's watch. And that's a segment called Bernie being a cuck. That was such a bullshit. Did you see that shit he was slinging? Did you see that? Can we watch it one more time? Because this is such garbage.
Some of my friends in the Democratic establishment.
He still can't stop picking well himself.
Are not aware, or I think cannot comprehend what some of us have in mind in terms of what will happen after Biden is elected, hopefully after he's elected. And that is, we are not going back to business as usual. There's too much pain out there. There's too much inequality out there. There's too much injustice out there.
The time came and went for you to do something, you fucking poser. The time was this year, now. What are you doing right now? Nothing. What are you doing right now? One of the most powerful 50 people in the entire world. What are you doing right now? Nothing. What are you going to do tomorrow? Nothing. What are you going to do next week? Nothing. What are you going to do next month? Nothing. What are you going to do in December? Nothing. What are you going to do in January? Nothing. We're going to wait till Joe Biden gets inaugurated, and then we're going to spring into action and make Joe Biden do a bunch of stuff he's never, ever, ever going to fucking do.
And here is what I believe from the bottom of my heart. If the Democrats, with a Democratic president, Democratic House, and Democratic Senate, cannot begin to address the real crises facing this country.
We had a Democratic president with a supermajority Senate and the House. We had that. Do you know when we had that? We had that when Barack Obama was elected. And you know what we got out of it? We got the banks made bigger. We went from 2 wars to 7. And guess what? Barack Obama kicked 5.1 million people out of their homes in a similar economic situation to this right now. So right now, Joe Biden kicked 5.1 million families out of their house in a similar. So that's his plan to deal with this, Bernie. That's how Joe Biden deals with these kind of problems. He's going to give more money to the banks, and he's going to impose austerity on people, and he's going to kick them out of their houses while he denies them Medicare for all. That's what Joe Biden's going to do. You don't think he's going to do that? Why aren't you fighting him right now? Why didn't you get something from him before? I guess we all know this. It's hard to believe that there's nothing inside that guy, right? That's hard to believe, isn't it? It's true. Just as cowardly as anybody in the world, given the circumstance, Bernie Sanders. Wow. Okay, great job, Bernie. Great job. And he wants to be labor secretary. And YouTube jagoffs know you're being a fucking moron. Kyle knows it. I fucking know it. Everybody fucking knows it. Except Bernie. Bernie knows it too. Bernie knows it. He's performing. Bernie's performing for MSNBC and for CNN and for every asshole inside the Democratic Party. Bernie's performing. This is what he's really doing. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.